Elder Taiho stood straight despite his old age. His white hair was neatly combed and his dark blue diplomatic uniform was perfectly pressed. The large round room fell silent as he finished speaking. 500 alien leaders from across the galaxy stared at him. Some looked worried, most looked bored. Taiho was the only human in the great council chamber. The room was built in a circle with rising seats like a giant bowl. The aliens sat in groups based on their alliance or star system. Some looked almost human. Others had tentacles, scales, or extra limbs. All of them were part of the Galactic council that ruled most of the known universe. "Please," Taiho said again, his voice strong but tired. "Listen to my warning. Do not attack the human colonies. There has been a mistake in the treaty translation. Our people did not know they were settling in disputed areas." High Counselor Vexlar, a tall being with blue-gray skin and 4 arms, waved one hand in dismissal. He sat on a raised platform at the center of the chamber. 3 other High Counselors sat with him, all from older, more powerful species. "We have heard enough, human representative," Vexlar said. His voice was deep and echoed through the chamber. "The Drakari Dominion has legal claim to those star systems. Your colonies are there illegally." Taiho took a deep breath. He had served as Earth's diplomat for 20 years. Before that, he had been a history professor specializing in human conflicts. He knew his species better than any alien could. "The colonists were not aware of these claims," Taiho said calmly. "There was a translation error in the treaty we signed. We need time to move our people peacefully." From behind him, Admiral Jinsu stepped forward. Jinsu was shorter than Taiho but looked stronger. His face showed the marks of many battles. His black and gold uniform had many medals. As Earth's military representative, he rarely spoke at council meetings. "If you approve this military action," Jinsu said firmly, "you must understand something about humans. We will not simply accept defeat. We will remember who hurt us. We will plan, and we will hunt those responsible until justice is done." Many council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Others laughed quietly. Counselor Mezat, a small green alien with large eyes, leaned forward. "Your species has only had space, travel for 100 years. The Drakari have had it for 2,000. The other council races have had it even longer. Your threats are meaningless." Taiho shook his head. "It is not a threat. It is a warning about our nature. Throughout human history." "We have studied your history," interrupted Vexlar. "You fight among yourselves. You divide into groups. You are no threat to unified galactic powers." "You have misunderstood," Taiho said quietly. "When faced with outside danger, humans unite. And when truly angered, we are more persistent than you can imagine." The 4th High Counselor, a being, made mostly of light contained in a special suit, spoke for the first time. "The decision has been made. The Drakari will remove the illegal human settlements in the outer sectors. The matter is settled." 2 tall security guards moved toward Taiho and Jinsu, signaling that their time to speak was over. Jinsu's eyes narrowed. "How many ships will they send?" No one answered him. "You think this will be easy?" Jinsu continued, his voice hard. "That humans will run away at the first sign of superior force. You are making a dangerous mistake." The guards reached them and gestured toward the exit. Taiho nodded politely and turned to leave. Jinsu stood his ground for a moment longer, looking at each High Counselor in turn, then followed Taiho. In the hallway outside the chamber, a young woman waited for them. Minji was Taiho's assistant, only 2 years into her diplomatic career. Her dark hair was pulled back and worry showed clearly on her face. "Did they listen?" she asked as they approached. Taiho shook his head. "No. They see us as newcomers, as primitives. They cannot understand what humans are capable of when provoked." "Then we must prepare," Jinsu said. He activated his wrist communicator. "This is Admiral Jinsu. Send a priority message to Earth Command. Authorization code Alpha 7 Delta. Message begins. Council has denied negotiation. Drakari attack on outer colonies likely within 3 standard weeks. Request immediate evacuation protocols and defensive positioning. Message ends. He looked at Taiho and Minji. We should return to the embassy immediately. As they walked through the grand hallways of the Galactic Council building, alien diplomats and officials moved out of their way. Some looked curious, others seemed almost sorry. They really don't understand us, do they? Minji asked quietly. No, Taiho replied. They judge us by our technology, by how long we've been traveling among the stars. They see our shorter lifespans and think we lack patience. He sighed deeply. They don't understand that humans can pass determination from one generation to the next. What will happen now? She asked. Jinsu's face was grim. The Drakari will attack our colonies. They have ships that can destroy a settlement from orbit. Our defenses there are minimal. And Earth? Will they attack Earth too? No, Taiho said. They consider this a small border dispute, not worth bringing to our home system. They expect us to accept the loss of a few outer colonies. They reached the transport pad that would take them to the Earth Embassy. As they stepped onto it, a tall alien with reddish scales approached. Taiho recognized him as Krax, an aide to one of the minor counselors. Representative Taiho, Krax said quietly, looking around to make sure no one was listening. I wish to speak privately with you. Taiho nodded. Join us at the embassy. 20 minutes later, they sat in Taiho's secure office. The windows were darkened, and anti-listening devices hummed softly. My people fought the Drakari 300 years ago, Krax said. We lost badly, but what I remember from my grandfather's stories is how they operate. They do not just defeat enemies, they make examples of them. Jinsu leaned forward. Explain. They will target your largest settlement first. They will not just destroy, they will make it hurt. They want the galaxy to see your weakness. Krax handed them a data chip. These are the ship signatures of the Drakari command vessels, the ones who will lead the attack. Why are you helping us? Minji asked. Krax's scales rippled, a sign of emotion. Because I heard your warning in the council chamber. I believe you meant it, and I think the council is making a grave mistake. After Krax left, Jinsu studied the data while Taiho stared out the window at the gleaming city that housed the Galactic Council. We can't stop their attack, Jinsu said finally. But we can prepare, we can gather intelligence, and we can remember. Taiho nodded slowly. Yes, that is what humans do best. He turned to Minji. Contact New Busan Colony. Tell them to begin emergency evacuation immediately. Will they listen? She asked. Most colonists won't want to leave their homes. Tell them. Taiho paused. Tell them that storm is coming, and that Earth will remember those who are lost. In the distance, the great dome of the council chamber gleamed in the alien sun. Inside, decisions were being made by beings who had never faced human determination, who had never understood the simple truth that Taiho had tried to explain. Humans never forget those who harm them, and they never ever stop hunting for justice. 3 weeks passed quickly. Commander Suho stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Force ship Indomitable. The ship was not large compared to the alien vessels, but it was Earth's newest and best. Suho was young for a commander, only 35 years old. His black uniform fit him well, and the crew respected him. Through the large front window he could see the planet New Busan below. It was a beautiful world with blue oceans and green lands. Nearly 50,000 humans had made it their home over the last 20 years. They had built farms, towns, and one major city also called New Busan. Commander, called Lieutenant Dasam from her station. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed worry. Long-range sensors are picking up multiple ships entering the system. Suho nodded. How many? 7 large vessels. Based on size, they appear to be Drakari warships. The bridge fell silent. Everyone had hoped the warnings were wrong. That the Drakari would not come. That the council would find a peaceful solution. Status of the evacuation? Suho asked. Officer Kang checked his screen. About 40% complete. The main shuttle port is running at maximum capacity, but we need at least 6 more hours to get everyone off planet. Suho took a deep breath. The Indomitable was the only military ship protecting New Busan. They had known this day might come. Earth had sent every available transport to evacuate the colony, but there hadn't been enough time. Communications, Suho said, send a message to the approaching fleet. Inform them that we are conducting a civilian evacuation and request time to complete it. The young communications officer nodded. Yes, sir. Minutes passed. The Drakari ships grew closer on the screens. Sir, incoming transmission from the Drakari flagship, the communications officer said. On screen, Suho ordered. The main display showed the face of a Drakari commander. The aliens had rough grayish skin with small ridges on their foreheads. Their eyes were large and yellow with thin black pupils. This one wore an elaborate uniform with many decorations. I am Admiral Vorth of the Drakari Dominion, the alien said. His voice was deep and slightly mechanical through the translator. By order of the Galactic Council, these planets are recognized as Drakari territory. Your settlements are illegal. You have 1 hour to surrender and begin evacuation. After that time, we will remove your presence by force. Suho stepped forward. Admiral Vorth, we are already evacuating civilians. We need more time. There are families, children. 1 hour, Vorth interrupted. The council has made its decision. Your diplomat was informed. The time for talking is over. The screen went black. They're not going to wait, are they? Dasam asked quietly. No, Suho replied. He turned to his crew. Send word to the colony. Priority evacuation for children and medical facilities. Get as many people to the transports as possible. He looked at the weapons officer. Prepare all defensive systems. We won't win against their fleet, but we can buy time for the evacuation. Down on the planet, people ran through the streets of New Busan City. Alarms sounded everywhere. Parents carried children. People grabbed only what they could hold. The evacuation centers were crowded with scared colonists. In orbit, more Earth transport ships arrived, moving quickly to the planet's surface to pick up survivors. The Indomitable positioned itself between the colony and the approaching Drakari fleet. 46 minutes since their ultimatum, Dasam reported. The Drakari fleet is taking up attack positions. All transport ships, Suho called over the communication system, expedite loading procedures. We may have less time than promised. Suddenly, bright flashes appeared from the lead Drakari warship. Energy weapons powering up, shouted the sensor officer. They're firing. They said 1 hour, Dasam exclaimed. The first energy blasts hit the atmosphere above New Busan City. The sky turned red where they struck. They're targeting the main city, Kang reported, his voice shaking. Suho's face hardened. Move to intercept. All shields forward. Launch defensive drones. The Indomitable surged forward, placing itself directly in the path of the Drakari weapons. The ship shuddered as energy blasts struck its shields. Shields at 60%, reported an officer. Return fire, Suho ordered. Target their weapon systems only. The human ship fired back, blue beams shooting toward the much larger Drakari vessels. The beams hit the lead ship but seemed to do little damage. Their shields are too strong, Dasam said. More Drakari ships fired now. Some shots hit the Indomitable. Others went past it, striking the planet below. On the surface, buildings exploded. The main evacuation center took a direct hit, erupting in flames. Status of the evacuation? Suho demanded. 12 transport ships have lifted off, Kang answered. Maybe 10,000 people total. But we've lost contact with the main evacuation center. The bridge rocked violently as another blast hit them. Shields failing, called an officer. Hull breach on deck 4. Suho gripped the command rail tightly. Continue evasive maneuvers. Keep broadcasting on all channels. Record everything. A young officer named Hana worked quickly at her station. Commander, I'm creating a detailed scan of every Drakari ship, recording their weapon signatures, communication patterns, and officer identifications. Suho nodded. Good work. That data needs to reach Earth. For 15 more minutes, the Indomitable fought, moving between the Drakari ships and the colony below. But it was a losing battle. The shields failed completely. Parts of the ship were on fire. "Commander," Disam said, her voice grim. "We can't hold position anymore. 2 more hits and we'll lose the engines." Suho looked at the screen showing New Busan City. Much of it was burning now. The beautiful blue and green planet had angry red wounds across its surface. "How many transport ships got away?" he asked. 17, total, Kang reported. "But that's less than 15,000 people." Suho closed his eyes briefly. More than 30,000 colonists were still on the surface. "Send a message to all remaining colonists," he said. Tell them to hide, to go to the mountains, the forests, anywhere away from the settlements." He turned to his crew. "We're withdrawing. Set course to rendezvous with the transport fleet." "Sir?" Dasam questioned. "We can't save the colony," Suho said, his voice hard. "But we can make sure Earth knows exactly what happened here, who did this, and how they did it." As the damaged Indomitable pulled away from New Busan, the crew watched in silence as the Drakari ships continued their bombardment. Settlements burned. The once beautiful world was being scarred forever. In the data center, Hana carefully stored the information she had gathered. Every Drakari ship was identified, every officer's face recorded, every weapon signature analyzed. "They think this is over," she whispered, tears streaming down her face as she worked. "They have no idea what they've started." The ship's doctor approached Suho. "Commander, the wounded are stable, but many are asking about their families still on the surface." Suho nodded. "Tell them we'll come back. Tell them Earth will not forget." As the Indomitable joined the fleeing transport ships, Suho looked back at the burning world on the screen. "Set course for Earth," he ordered. "And prepare the data for immediate transmission to Earth Command as soon as we're in range. They need to know everything that happened here." "And then?" Dasam asked quietly. Suho's eyes were cold. "And then we hunt." 1 year passed. In the grand halls of the Drakari Imperial Palace, High Admiral Vorth enjoyed his new status. The large room was filled with important Drakari military officers. They ate fine food and drank expensive drinks. Music played softly, in the background. All of them wore medals and decorations. Vorth had the most. "To our great victory in the human territories," said one of the officers, raising his glass. "It wasn't much of a battle," Vorth laughed. "Their ships were primitive. Their weapons were weak. They ran away after we destroyed their main colony." The other officers laughed with him. None of them worried about the humans anymore. The Galactic Council had praised the Drakari for their swift action. The disputed star systems were now firmly under Drakari control. A server approached Vorth's table. She was slender with dark hair pulled back tightly. She looked almost Drakari, but her skin was smoother. Many alien species worked as servers in the palace. "More drink, High Admiral?" she asked, holding a bottle. "Yes," Vorth replied without looking up at her. "Do you remember New Busan?" she asked very quietly. Vorth froze. Then he slowly looked up at the server's face. She was human. He recognized the species now, but humans were not allowed on the Drakari homeworld. "How did she—" Before he could speak, the lights in the palace went out. Complete darkness filled the room. Officers shouted in confusion. Then came several soft sounds like air being pushed quickly. When the emergency lights came on 10 seconds later, 20 high-ranking Drakari officers were dead at their tables. The human server was gone. On each dead officer's uniform, a small metal pin had been placed. The pins showed the image of a burning planet. Across Drakari space, similar events happened on the same night. On the military base of Drektar Prime, the power systems failed. When they came back on, the base commander was dead. On the Drakari flagship Conqueror, 5 senior officers never woke up from their sleep. In the Drakari colony of New Theros, the communication center exploded, killing the entire command staff. In every location, the same message was left behind. "Remember New Busan." The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Elder Taiho entered. The chamber for the first time since the attack on the human colony. He looked older now, his hair completely white, but he walked tall and proud. "What is the meaning of this?" demanded Councillor Vexlar. "Drakari military installations across 3 sectors have been attacked, their officers assassinated. Is Earth responsible?" Teho's face showed no emotion. "I warned you 1 year ago. I told you humans do not forget those who harm them." "This is outrageous," shouted the Drakari representative. "You cannot wage war against a superior power. The Council will not allow it." "War?" Teho asked calmly. "No, this is not war as you understand it. We are not seeking to conquer Drakari worlds or destroy their civilization. We are hunting. Only hunting." "Hunting what?" asked Councillor Mezat. "Those responsible," Teho replied simply. "Only those who participated in the attack on New Busan. The ships that fired on our people, the officers who gave the orders, the leaders who broke their word about the 1-hour warning." The council chamber was silent. "You cannot possibly identify all those individuals," said the Drakari representative finally. Teho smiled slightly. "We recorded everything during the attack. Every ship, every weapon signature, every officer's face that appeared on communications. We know exactly who is responsible." On Earth, in a secure military facility deep underground, Admiral Jinsu addressed 200 men and women. They wore simple black uniforms with no markings or ranks. They were the best soldiers, spies, and operatives Earth had. "Last night's operation was just the beginning," Jinsu told them. "For 1 year we have prepared. We have studied the enemy. We have placed our people throughout Drakari space. Now we begin the real work." A large screen behind him showed thousands of Drakari faces and ship identifications. "These are our targets," Jinsu continued. "We do not have the technology or fleets to defeat the Drakari in open battle, but we don't need to. We only need to make them understand the cost of attacking humans." Commander Suho stepped forward. His face had a new scar across his cheek from the battle at New Busan. "Each team has specific targets," Suho explained. "Some of you will hunt ship captains. Others will target weapons officers. Some will disable the ships themselves. We don't need to destroy their entire fleet, just the ones that fired on our colony." In the back of the room sat Hana, now a captain in Earth's Special Forces. During the past year, she had memorized the face of every Drakari officer who appeared on screen during the attack. She had already eliminated 3 of them last night. The memory of her family, lost on New Busan, drove her forward. Meanwhile, in the Drakari High Command Center, panic was spreading. Reports came in from across their territory of precise, targeted attacks. No large human fleet had been detected. Instead, small groups or even single human operatives somehow appeared inside secure facilities, eliminated specific targets, and disappeared. "How are they doing this?" demanded the Supreme Commander of the Drakari forces. "How do they get past our security? How do they know exactly who to target?" No one had answers. A junior officer entered the room cautiously. "Sir, we have received a message from Earth Command." "What do they want?" the Supreme Commander asked. They sent us a list, sir." "A list of what?" "A list of names. Every Drakari officer, ship, and politician they hold responsible for the New Busan attack. There are 4,276 names on it." The officer paused. "They claim they will hunt every single one, no matter how long it takes." Back in the Galactic Council, Elder Teho finished his address. "We did not want this conflict," he said to the silent council members. "We tried to solve it peacefully. You ignored us. You thought we would accept defeat because you are technologically superior. You were wrong." "What do you want now?" asked the High Counselor. "Justice," Teho replied. "Only justice. When those responsible have answered for their actions, the hunting will stop." "And if we protect them?" asked the Drakari representative. Teho's eyes were cold. "You cannot. Not forever. Humans are very patient, very persistent. If this generation cannot complete the hunt, we will teach our children to continue it. And their children after them. We will hunt forever if necessary." As he left the council chamber, Minji waited for him. She now wore the uniform of Earth's diplomatic corps. Did they understand this time? She asked. They are beginning to, Taiho replied. But understanding humans takes time. They still think in terms of fleets and territories. They don't yet grasp what it means to make an enemy of a species that never forgets and never stops. Minji looked at her communication device. Captain Hana reports her team has located Admiral Vorth's hidden base on Drakari Colony 7. Taiho nodded. Good. Vorth gave the order to fire before the 1-hour deadline. He is high on our list. How long will this continue? Minji asked quietly. Until justice is done, Taiho said. Or until they learn the lesson I tried to teach them a year ago. Never attack the humans because we will hunt you forever. 5 years had passed since the destruction of New Busan. The Drakari Dominion, once proud and powerful, now lived in fear. Their military leaders were being hunted one by one. Not by large human fleets or armies, but by small teams that appeared, out of nowhere, struck with perfect aim and vanished. High Admiral Vorth no longer attended parties or public events. He lived in a hidden fortress on a small moon. 20 guards watched him at all times. Walls 3 meters thick protected him. Security scanners checked everyone who entered. Vorth sat in his private room looking at reports. His hand shook slightly as he read them. 3 more Drakari captains had been found dead yesterday. All had served in the New Busan attack 5 years ago. All had been marked with the same small pin showing a burning planet. An aide entered the room after passing through 4 security checks. Sir, urgent transmission from the Galactic Council. Vorth activated the large screen on his wall. The image showed the council chamber. All the major powers of the galaxy were present. In the center stood Elder Taiho, now very old but still, standing tall. The Galactic Council has called this emergency session, announced the new High Counselor. The old one had retired 2 years ago. The conflict between humanity and the Drakari Dominion must end. Taiho stepped forward. 5 years ago, humanity was dismissed as weak and unimportant. Today I bring an offer of peace, but peace with justice. He presented 3 simple demands. First, those directly responsible for the New Busan attack would face trial. Second, the disputed territories would be shared between humans and Drakari. Third, humanity would join the Galactic Council as full members. Why should we accept these demands? Asked the Drakari representative angrily. Your attacks are illegal. The Council should punish Earth, not reward it. The chamber doors opened. Captain Hana entered. She now wore the uniform of Earth's intelligence service with the rank of colonel. Her face was calm, but her eyes were hard. She carried a small data crystal which she placed in the Council's computer system. This contains the names and locations of every remaining Drakari officer involved in the attack, she said. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard her. It also shows exactly how we will find them if justice is denied. The screen showed maps of 46 Drakari worlds. Each had red marks showing where Drakari officers were hiding. You have hidden them across 3 sectors, Hana continued. We have people on every world. We know exactly where they are. The Drakari representative's face showed shock. Impossible. Some of these locations are our most secret bases. Nothing is secret from those who are patient, Hana replied. We have spent 5 years placing our people throughout your society. Some work as servants, some as traders, some as maintenance workers. You never suspected them because you think humans are primitive and obvious. In his fortress, Vorth watched the transmission with growing horror. How had the humans become so dangerous in just 5 years? How had they infiltrated so deeply into Drakari space? Taiho addressed the council again. You misjudged us because of our technology. You failed to study our history, our nature. On Earth, we have a saying, the most dangerous hunter is not the strongest, but the most patient. We do not forget. We do not forgive. And we never stop. The council chamber was silent. Then the High Counselor spoke. The council will consider Earth's terms. We will meet again in 1 standard week. As the session ended, Vorth shut off his screen. His fortress suddenly felt less safe. He called his head of security. Double the guards. Check everyone again. No one enters without my direct approval. The head of security nodded and left. Vorth poured himself a strong drink. His hands shook badly now. For 5 years he had watched his fellow officers disappear one by one. The humans were so methodical, so relentless. They didn't attack all at once. They took their time, building fear with each new target. A small sound made him turn. A maintenance panel in the wall had opened. A figure in black stepped out. "Hello, Admiral Vorth," said Colonel Hanna. "Do you remember New Busan?" 2 weeks later, the Galactic Peace Agreement was signed. Humanity joined the Council as full members. Admiral Jinsu became Earth's military representative. The trials of Drakari officers began, with Vorth being the first to face justice. In the council chamber, Elder Taiho and Minji sat in the new seats assigned to Earth. Other council members looked at them with new respect and, in some cases, fear. A young alien diplomat approached Taiho after the session. He was from a species that had just joined the galactic community. "Is it true what they say?" the young diplomat asked. "That humans would have continued hunting forever?" Taiho smiled slightly. "Let us both be grateful we never had to find out." In another part of the council building, Commander Suho, now General Suho, met with the human teams who had hunted the Drakari for 5 years. Colonel Hanna stood with them. "It's over," Suho told them. "Justice has been served. The hunt is complete." "Was it worth it?" asked one of the younger team members. 5 years of our lives, all that effort, just to punish those responsible." Hanna looked at him. "It wasn't just about punishment. It was about teaching the galaxy a lesson. Now they understand what it means to make humans their enemy." Suho nodded. "And that understanding will protect future generations. The Council will think twice before dismissing human warnings again." That evening, Elder Taiho stood at a large window, looking out at the stars. Admiral Jinsu joined him. "We should have been at that council meeting 6 years ago," Jinsu said. "We might have prevented all of this." "Perhaps," Taiho replied. "But now we have our place at the table. Our voice will be heard. And they will listen," Jinsu added. "After what we've done, they will always listen." Minji joined them at the window. "The Council has added a new section to their diplomatic guidelines," she said, showing them her datapad. "It's marked as highest priority." The new guideline read, "When dealing with humans, remember New Busan. They do not seek conflict, but once provoked, they will hunt you to the ends of the galaxy. The wise avoid their wrath entirely." The 3 humans watched the stars in silence. 5 years of hunting had changed humanity's place in the galaxy. They were no longer seen as primitive newcomers. Now they were respected. Now they were feared. In the council archives, the recording of Taiho's original warning was played often by new diplomats learning about different species. His words echoed through time. "Do not attack the humans. They will hunt you forever." It had taken the destruction of a colony and 5 years of relentless pursuit. But finally, the galaxy understood. Humans might not have the most advanced ships or the strongest weapons, but they had something more dangerous: perfect memory and endless patience. As Earth's ships departed the council station to return home, many alien diplomats watched them go with new understanding. The primitive species from the edge of the galaxy had taught them all a powerful lesson. Never underestimate those who remember. Never provoke those who hunt forever.